This video is going to be about how to query your application for specific IDs and then use them in a Calabash script. So this one I'm just going to go over how to query stuff, and you can see that I am using git bash, which I found out is not applicable to this command to start your server so you can query stuff. You have to use Windows PowerShell to do this. And so I'm going to type exit here. Yay. I'm going to increase the font so you can see it. Yeah, it looks better. So I'm inside of my application, and then there's the features directory, and the command I'm doing is, I'll just make that full screen, I guess. Come on. So this is the command I'm doing. So it's I have a bundler gem file, so I just installed my gems using bundler in previous videos, and then I'm calling Calabash Android, the console, and then the application that I want to start the console on. So go ahead and hit enter. What is it doing? There it goes. I don't know what that was about. And you can see now I'm in the Ruby console, interactive Ruby console. I'm not sure what IRB stands for. So now what we have to do is start our server, and there's a specific command you have to use to do that. See if I find it. Start test server in background. That's one that is in Calabash that you would see in one of the environment files that you get by generating the features directory. So now I'm going to start the server. You'll get nil returned as a response, and I've learned all of this through the Xamarin website, which is right here. So looking at this, so this is what they're doing, and that's exactly what I've returned right now. Now, the part that's not working for me is if I try to query button, it does not return all the buttons in my view. Instead, it just returns an empty array, which is not really what I want. I learned that you have to use these specific expressions to get the values that I wanted. So, for example, I have a button in this sample application from the Xamarin sample app. So I'm going to type query, and let's query this specific widget, and this will return all of the buttons inside of my main view that I'm on right now. And you can see that this has an ID of validate button, and it has a text of validate credit card, and you can actually query this in other queries using the specific ID, and see if I can just hit the up button. Yeah. So this is so you say I want to find the button marked, and then you type a colon, and in single quotations you type the ID of the button. You can also put the text of the button inside of here, but I mean, why not just use ID? I mean, that's the whole point of having a unique ID. And so this returns the same thing as the previous one did. If I had more buttons on the screen, the previous command would return more in its array. So now that that's done, the other things that you can look at are on this page, and I'll include this page in the description of the video. Let's go ahead and query my view. So I'm not sure what my class name is for my application. Let's look at that real quick. See what that does. I never did this one before, so you'll learn along with me. So we'll type query, and let's just see what this does in case that's the actual thing. Yeah, so this is, it doesn't know what the string my class is. So let's look for the class that we want to query. So I guess our class was main activity. So I'm going to copy that name, and then let's go back here. And then instead of putting my class there, I'd put my main activity. So let's do that, see what happens. Okay, so it's not looking for that. What was that to? Oops. Class name. Looking for a specific view. So Let's look at the views that we have open. Possibly this one. Let's go back and try that. And nope, not looking for that one either. I'm not understanding what that's trying to tell me. This goes over the button and selects view objects that have particular class or subclass of that class. Specify a class name expression, you write this. This will pick out all values in the input which have my class or inherit my class. Okay, so none of my things inherit the main activity. They're all like subderived classes. So that makes sense as to why when I typed the full Android widget.button out, why I was querying, why I was doing it successfully. And you can see there's a bunch of other queries on here, but this should be enough to get you guys started if you're looking at this trying to figure out how to query stuff like I was using git bash. So thank you for watching, and check out these queries, and then you can figure out what the IDs are, and you can reference them inside of your tests, which I'll be doing later.